Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are jumping straight into the deep end, diving right into the core mechanics of resilience based on our source material. We're going to break down exactly why your struggles, those things you desperately want to avoid, are actually the exact, indispensable tools forging your greatness. We aren't just looking at some generic motivation today, we're literally decoding the psychological anatomy of a true comeback. So get ready to completely redefine how you view hardship.
So first off, why do we fear the storm? We almost always fear difficulties, right? When a storm rolls into our lives, our basic human instinct is to seek shelter, shrink down, and just wait for it to pass. But the source material immediately challenges us with this hook. What if we completely flip that narrative? What if the storm isn't actually there to destroy you, but to clear your path?
Let's dive into this. The text points out that the journey to greatness begins not by relying on other people, but with a deeply personal, totally unwavering promise made entirely to yourself. Before you take even a single step toward a massive goal, you really have to lock in your intention. It's not about broadcasting your plans to the world or looking for a pat on the back. It's an internal contract. When you promise yourself that you won't lose courage, regardless of the obstacles, you basically create a psychological anchor that holds firm when things get chaotic.
And this brilliantly illustrates the contrast presented in the text. Why remain seated on the ground, merely looking up, when the world really only recognizes those who open their wings and take flight? Passively watching your dreams gets you absolutely nowhere. Greatness requires the vulnerability of opening your wings. Yeah, it's risky for sure, but the sky only belongs to those who actively claim their flight.
Section 1. The Forge of Struggle. The Necessity of Hardship.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how the text actually redefines struggle. It argues that without the painful blow of a hammer, a mere stone can never be shaped into a revered idol. Think about what that actually means for a second. A rock sitting out in a field is just a rock. But when a sculptor takes a chisel to it, there's violence, there's striking, there's a breaking away of the old. No one becomes great without this friction. The struggle is literally the chisel. Without it, you remain raw, unshaped potential. The source argues that you must first conquer the darkness to emerge shining like the sun. It's a fascinating perspective. We almost always think of darkness as the enemy, but here it's actually the proven ground. The sun doesn't just exist. In this metaphor, it earns its brilliance by completely overpowering the night. So your capacity to shine and project power is directly proportional to the amount of darkness you've successfully navigated.
Section 2. Redefining Destiny. Writing Your Own Fate.
Okay, this brings us to a pivotal paradigm shift presented in our analysis. The text maps out this epic contrast. If you simply trust in fate, you're just going to get what's already written. You're a passive recipient. But if you fiercely trust yourself, you force destiny to rewrite itself exactly as you want it. When you build an undeniable trust in your own capabilities, you grab the pen. You become the co-author of your reality, compelling fate to align with your relentless actions.
Section 3. Surviving the Storms. Resilience in the Dark. To really understand true resilience, the speaker prompts us with this fascinating visual test of worth. Imagine holding two clear, glittering stones. How do you actually know which one possesses immense intrinsic value and which one is utterly worthless?
Well, as this quote beautifully captures, to test a diamond, you have to wait for the dark, because in the bright sunlight, even cheap pieces of glass can fake a shine. This perfectly illustrates why you shouldn't get down about hard times. When everything is going perfectly, everyone looks successful, right? Everyone shines. It takes the removal of that light, the introduction of genuine, messy adversity, to expose who is fragile glass and who is an unbreakable diamond. Your dark times are simply your ultimate appraisal.
And the text encourages you to never, ever change your intentions out of despair. An extinguished flame can definitely reignite, and a skilled captain can steer a boat out of the wildest tempest. Both situations seem totally doomed in the moment, but the key takeaway here is endurance. Despair is temporary, but only if you refuse to abandon your ultimate intentions. You just got to keep that spark alive.
Section 4. The Ultimate Triumph. The Refusal to Quit. As we reach the climax of our explainer, the source breaks down the literal anatomy of a comeback. Step 1. Defeat in the physical arena. Step 2. The absolute refusal to accept that loss in the mind. Step 3. Rising to fight again. Notice the huge distinction here between the physical and the mental arenas. You can lose your money, your job, your match. That's just an arena loss. It's just a data point. But the moment your mind agrees with that defeat, the game is over for good. A true comeback is born entirely in your refusal to internally validate an external loss.
To achieve ultimate victory, the text insists you must consistently implement these actions. Relentless momentum has to be your antidote to failure. When you fall down, recover immediately. If you maintain your courage, the ocean will literally come to the thirsty, meaning massive, seemingly impossible rewards will naturally gravitate toward those who just refuse to stop seeking them. You have to be the lamp that stays lit, not just in a gentle breeze, but right in the middle of a roaring hurricane.
So how do you deal with your detractors? You transform the pain of rejection into unstoppable success by forcing the world to acknowledge your rewritten destiny. Don't just ignore your haters, outgrow them on a spectacular scale. When people reject you based on your current circumstances, let that rejection be your fuel. You build a reality so undeniably successful that the power dynamic permanently flips, and those who rejected you will literally have to take an appointment just to meet you.
I want to leave you with this final provocative thought from our explainer today. When the storm hits, what will it forge in you? Will you let the blows break you, or will you grab that chisel and carve your own undeniable masterpiece? The struggle is not a detour, it is the path itself. The only question is, what are you going to let it sculpt?